What's going on, guys? Welcome to a special lyrical breakdown on the adventures of TNT. I'm your host T. Today we're going to be going over Megadeth Washington is Next. This was a Patreon request by our patron Bill. I never heard the song before. I wasn't sure what to expect. After hearing that song, I was just completely shocked and blown away, especially how relevant and how relatable it is to what's going on right now. And I've said this before so many times. With Holy Wars and some of the other songs that Dave's made about, you know, a dystopic world and a failure in a system, like his lyrics, or the lyrics in the band period, they're just relevant, they're relatable. He wrote them 10, 20, 30 years ago and they still just fit with today's society. So yeah. So let's just, you know, if you guys haven't seen the reaction, make sure you go back and watch the reaction. Or if you've heard the song so many times, you just want to go ahead and jump into these lyrics. Let's go ahead and do it. So I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to go ahead and talk about this stuff. All right, so the first verse goes, "The quiet war has begun with silent weapons, and the new slavery is to keep people poor and stupid. Novus ordo seclorum." I believe that is Latin. I'm looking that up here, in which it says it's basically, it means like new age of the world, or new world order, basically. But all right, so even with this first line right here, the quiet war has begun with silent weapons. And when you think of silent weapons, you're thinking about biological warfare. Right now, they have this coronavirus that's going on right now, and I've looked into a lot of the conspiracy theories in which they seem so crazy. A lot of people were talking about how the virus is synthesized and, you know, it was created by China for population control, or even it could have been created by America, but I doubt it. But it says the new slavery is to keep people poor and stupid. And as you all know, there's a lot of misdirection that goes on with the media, and so people are left in the dark. They don't know. So, you know, going with that, that's what I, you know, got from those lyrics. Going on to verse 2, "How can there be any logic in biological warfare?" That is crazy. That is crazy, because even right now, as we're going through this whole situation, people are trying to make sense out of, you know, the spread of this virus and why it's spreading so fast, and what the real mortality rate is. It's like, you know, scientists have more of an understanding than what we do, but everybody else, we're just trying to make sense out of this. We're trying to make logic out of biological warfare. On the next line, it says, "We all know this is wrong," which is true. Everybody feels like something is wrong, you know. It's crazy, because I do investing in the stock market, and the stock market's been falling apart. It's just been crumbling. And people were saying, "Oh, buy the dip, buy the dip. You know, this is the right time to buy stocks." And the funny thing about it is people were saying, you know, the whole thing is related to the coronavirus. And they're like, yo, if it's just like the flu, then why are investors really buying the dip? You know, and they're not, they're selling. Anyway, it says, "But the new world order beating down the door. Oh, something needs to be done." That's how people feel. They feel like something needs to be done. So the next verse goes, "There was a king, an evil king, who dreamt the wickedest dreams, an ancient mystery no prophet could interpret. Of 7 years of famine, the wolf is at my door, as predicted years ago. That was, that is, that it is no more." That's crazy. So, to me, you know, when he mentions there was an evil king, there was a king, an evil king, who dreamt the wickedest of dreams. Only thing I can think of, because we don't have kings in this country, but other countries have dictatorships, and they do have kings, and they have one-party systems, and their leaders can have wicked dreams to do bad things to other people. I'm not going to say any names, but maybe I'll put a picture up, but that's what I'm getting from it. The wolf is at my door, as predicted years ago. People predicted this kind of stuff happening, you know? And there was only one man. There was only one man that was like, he was like, no. He was like, fuck them. We're going to tax their ass, and we're going to seal them off, because you guys don't fucking see it. That's crazy. You know what's crazy is that, you know, I don't agree with a lot of things that Trump says or does, but there's some things that he was just really kind of right about, and you know, some people don't give him credit for it. But we're not going to go into that. We're talking about Megadeth. So the next verse goes, the word predicts the future and tells the truth about the past, of how the world leaders will hail the new pharaoh, the eighth false king of the throne. Washington is next. That's really deep, because to me with this verse, it just seems like, to me it just says that regardless of what happens, when all the dust settles, you know, all the world leaders will just look at this one individual, as this one person, as like the new leader of the new world, you know. Because of course, naturally, everybody would be looking for guidance, you know, after something catastrophic would happen to the global economy. Everybody would be looking to that one leader for guidance to make things better, you know. Really crazy. Next verse, disengage their minds, sabotage their health. All right, self-explanatory. We don't need to explain that, especially what's going on. Promote sex and war and violence in the kindergartens. Basically, you know, brainwashing your children. Blame the parents and teachers. It's their fault. And we cultus, sure that's Latin for something. Attack the church dynamic. Attack the family. Keep the public undisciplined till nothing left is sacred. And the have-nots get hooked and have to go to the haves to cop a fix. Wow, that's crazy. Basically, it's chaos. It's divide and conquer, you know, have everything in chaos to where the have-nots, you have so little, but then you have to go to the wealthy or the powerful to accept their handouts or take whatever they're going to offer you or whatever they're going to give you. That's always linked to something bad, especially for the way he has it worded. It says just to cop a fix. So it's kind of like at this point people are desperate. They're desperate for anything, any kind of aid or any kind of help, and so they're willing to go to the corrupted and powerful just to cop a fix, just to get some help. That's crazy. Towards these last few verses, it says, I am the king, an evil king who dreams the wickedest of dreams, an ancient mystery nobody could interpret, of 7 empires falling. The wolf is at my door as predicted years ago. That was, that is no more. Okay, interesting. And you know, and that's crazy with that that verse right there where it says the seven empires falling. I'm thinking, you know, we don't really have 7 empires here, but I know on this planet we have 7 continents. And so that's it's very interesting for him to say something like that. Next verse, it says, the word predicts my future and tells the truth about my past, of how the world's leaders are waiting to usher in the 8th world power of modern Rome. Washington is next. Wow, crazy. So even with this verse right here, when he says the 8th world power of modern Rome, and when you break that down and you think about it, you know, everybody knows how great of a civilization and culture Rome had during its time. But what ultimately happened? Rome fell. And so when you think about that, and then the next line after that is Washington is next. And so basically, it's almost like he's saying that America will fall as well. Wow, that is crazy. I kind of don't even want to do this anymore, because the way that Dave is predicting these things is just freakishly scary. It is crazy. So the next verse goes back into the chorus. There was a king, an evil king, who dreamt the wickedest of dreams, an ancient mystery no prophet could interpret. Of the 7 falling empires, the wolf is at my door as predicted years ago. That was, that is no more. Then it goes into the next part, which is, I am a king and I dream the wildest of dreams, and nobody could interpret 7 empires falling. The wolf is at my door. Oh, that was, that is no more. And then it goes to the last verse. There's something at my door, some ancient mystery. The future tells the truth about my past, and I'm the 8th false king to the throne. I've got you in my crosshairs. Now ain't that a bitch? Ain't that a bitch? Wow, this is very interesting. It's very deep as well. So like I said, you know, sometimes when Dave writes these lyrics, Dave writes the ugly truth about society. And that's one thing that you have to give him credit for compared to a lot of other bands or writers, is that he doesn't give a fuck about what you think or your feelings about certain things, but he just paints the ugly truth about what's going on in this country or all across the world and how he feels about it, you know? And I think it's very interesting. It gives a unique perspective on Megadeth's music. This is one of the reasons why I am a huge fan of Megadeth compared to all the other bands out there, because when you listen to certain tracks from them, they cause you to think, and this is definitely a thinking man's track. Guys, let me know what you thought about these lyrics. Do you think it's eerily relatable to what's going on in today's world? I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you have your own interpretation to this song. And like I said, you know, guys, this is my own interpretation. It could be right or wrong. I don't care. This is how I felt about the song, and this is what I got from these lyrics. Anyway, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.